Ooh, it says meeting is now live streaming.
Well, that's exciting. Oh,
Hi,
there. Mhm.
Shannon.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Do you see it on your timeline?
I'm trying to find it and I do not.
Ooh, I do see it. So
Oh,
I'm
wait, I
going
just
to
saw it. Okay, hold on.
share to a group. There we
There it is.
go.
Okay. Yep, me
Excellent.
too.
Excellent. Well, woohoo. We have successfully gone live. Look at this. How cool is this? So for those of you who know me, I'm Sandra Wint. I am the founder of Me, Her, Us, and a certified Gestalt coach. And my work is really to help women lead an empowered and fulfilling life. And I have with me my very good friend, Shannon Vitale. And Shannon, you are?
I am a board certified holistic nutrition and wellness coach. And I work mainly one-on-one with women on a variety of health goals. Sorry, I was a little distracted. I was trying to figure out the live thing. It just isn't working. So I'll just share it after the fact. So technology.
We'll take a few minutes and just share it out, and I'll let people know what we're going to be talking about. So Shannon and I have been working on a collaboration, and we are excited to announce that we have a full day, 1 day only retreat in Ohio for women who are sick and tired of being uncomfortable and not confident in their bodies. So the focus of the 1 day event, and of course I get a phone call right in the middle of my live. So the focus of the event is to help foster a conversation about how we feel about our bodies, how we feel in them, how we feel about them, how we feel about how we look, right? So
Yes.
as a nutrition coach, and as a wellness coach, what are your thoughts about this particular topic?
Oh my gosh. I can't even express how excited I am about this because this is the number one thing that hands down, I would say 95% of my clients and the women that I talk to on just a daily basis struggle with body image issues, relationships with food, how that impacts their self-worth, how that impacts just really the everyday actions and behaviors, and how that's holding them back from reaching the goals that they want. So I'm so excited because I feel like these discussions are so needed because we have to get under the surface of not just, I want to lose weight, right? Because this is not just for people who want to lose weight. This is for all women. But if we want to achieve something in our lives, we have to have that self-acceptance, have that self-love, be aware of all of the issues that we have so we can work through them and then move forward from a place of love rather than trying to shoehorn ourselves into something because we feel ashamed or guilty or judged. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like it's such a needed and necessary conversation
Yeah.
because I don't think it matters what our size is. I think that there is so much objectification
Mm,
of a woman's body
mhm.
that we all struggle to some extent with um, what our bodies look like.
Totally. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Hmm. And I don't think it matters whether we're thin or tall or short or fat or, well, however we want to label it. I think we all struggle with Do I look good in this? I mean, that's
Mhm.
how often I think the proof that we all laugh when we hear that is, is kind of like the reality of the situation. So, what are we going to be doing is really what I think some people might be curious about. What are we going to be doing during this whole day? Woohoo!
I know it is literally a whole day set aside for you time where you make you the most important person that day. I think number one, that's something most women don't take the time to do that we need to do for ourselves. So during this day, we have lots planned. We have 3 different, we'll call them workshops, so to speak, around the topics of body image, our relationships with food, how that impacts ourselves. We have an amazing home chef coming in to cook for us, lunch, dinner, snacks, and she is going to be teaching us and presenting to us an interactive, really, discussion about how to prep meals easily for the busy week, what to do when life explodes during the week and you have to figure out how to pivot. We have lots of downtime built in, so that we have time to, after these workshops, right, which because they are on a deeper level and they can get a little heavy, I'll say, we give lots of time to decompress. So you get to walk around the beautiful Misty Acres farm. You can choose to be by yourself. You can choose to be in community with the other participants. Whatever you feel you need to do to process through and just relax. What else, Sandra? We have
Yeah, I think the biggest I think the biggest point that I wanted to make as we were talking through this is that it's not just about food, right? I mean, Diane's gonna make us some incredible food, and I love to eat her food. She's such a good chef. Um, and it is about learning how do we cope with all those crazy curves that life throws at us. But at its core, it's emotional work.
mhm,
And that's what we really need to, or what we're really hoping to get to the bottom of, is what is the emotional work that's going on under the surface that we don't spend any time really thinking about when we are talking about ourselves and our bodies, right? And
mhm,
this isn't just about I mean, yes, the focus of this is about our bodies, but the work involves more than just our bodies. It involves how we feel about ourselves.
mhm.
Yes, absolutely. Um, and how we make time for ourselves and how we care for ourselves and how we nurture ourselves. We all hear the put your face mask on first. Who does that? Who's got time for that? Right? Like,
Right.
please. So, this is really about how do we want to move forward as we create spaces that are supportive of ourselves, not just our families, not just about our workplaces, but for ourselves. How do we want to nurture and care for ourselves during the week? We didn't say that it was at Misty Acres Horse
I'm
Farm. So
sorry, I forgot.
no, I'm happy you mentioned that. So yeah, tell them where it is, and what a space. It's so
Oh,
beautiful.
it is so beautiful. So the retreat is going to be held at Misty Acres Farm of Bath. And it is a beautiful horse farm that our host, Karen Premier, and her husband own. And they use their horses for therapy. So they have different therapy programs that they run. And she has created just the most serene and peaceful space above the barn. Literally, when you walk in, you're like, and it feels so good. Plus, in the summer, the grounds are going to be beautiful and they have a beautiful walking path. So I just think it's the perfect backdrop for this kind of work.
Yeah. Restful and relaxful. I think
Mm,
relaxing. I think that's what um we're going after.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Mm,
And we did talk about having like a 2-day event.
we did, but we scaled it back for now. We'll see. Who knows what the future will hold?
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? But so this is a one day. It starts at 9:45 a.m. We'll go till just around 8 p.m. There'll be lunch. There'll be dinner, a scrumptious dinner. And Diane keeps sending us the recipes she's working on. She's taste testing them with her family. And every time she sends me a text, I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry.
Right?
And then she like has the audacity to send me photographs of the food. It's like, oh my gosh.
It's like sitting and watching Food Network, and you're like, okay, now I need something.
Exactly. It's like
Right.
watching Food Network. Totally, totally. Yes. So what else should we say?
Well, I guess one of the biggest things we should probably mention is why people would want to join us here. So if you would like to speak on that, or I could, it doesn't
Okay,
matter.
that sounds
Okay.
great.
Why? Okay. So I personally think that I don't understand why you wouldn't want to join us, because I think the topics are so universal and so central to who we are as women, who we are as leaders, and who we are in our own lives, that um, I mean, all of us have issues, right, with our bodies or with food or with self-worth, which plays into all of that. And so to have that time and that space to actually give yourself permission to be like, okay, I'm going to take this day and I'm actually going to think about these things and find the meaning for me and start to work through some of these issues, because I'm tired of feeling like this all the time. I'm tired of opening my closet doors and just dreading it, right? Or I'm tired of obsessing about what I'm going to eat or what people will think about what I'm going to eat. All those things that we don't really consciously are aware of, but that happen hundreds of times during our days. Give yourself the time and the space to start to look at these things.
Yeah, I remember when we started talking about this, I said, how the judgment that we feel about the food that we're selecting when we go to a restaurant, based on our body size, right?
Mhm,
Or based on who we're eating with,
mhm.
right?
Right,
Or who's going to see us, right? And
right,
then what do we do after we leave the restaurant, right?
right.
Based on who we were with,
Mhm,
what we felt the waiter was going to, the opinions. So yeah, judgment of ourselves and judgment of others is
mhm.
constantly a theme that runs through food choices.
Yeah,
And you know what? I've talked about it with my husband, and he does not feel the same way. And
yeah.
I just think it's so interesting that it's different for women than it is for men.
I agree. And I think that's something that we will delve into during the day, because it's an important point, right? It's how we've grown up and what we've been taught, not just in our families, but as in society in general, for how we're supposed to act and how we're supposed to look, and what's valuable and what's not valuable, right? And we all live by those rules, but I don't think we have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I just am beyond the moon excited about this.
I am too. So it's going to be on June 3rd.
Mhm.
And we've decided that we're going to come on a couple of times a week and just talk about the program and maybe some food or body image related topics as we move forward, right? And so we invite anybody who's watching or who sees this to post replay. And when you do watch it, drop some comments, drop some thoughts on how this topic impacts you, or some things that you'd like us to address or talk to.
Hmm.
Um, and we'll go ahead and we'll post the link to the retreat in the comments for anyone who's interested. And we'll probably be on at about this time every every time we go live to talk about it, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to message Sandra or myself. We're happy to answer any questions or talk with you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, well,
Well,
thanks.
we'll see you guys on Wednesday around 4.
Yeah. Thanks, Sandra.
Thank you, Shannon. Bye.
Mhm.